welcome to a rail roundup. Coming up, making up for lost time as Newcastle Station's roofline clocks restored, completing the upgrades to the Isle of Line and continuing work to preserve the Isle of Wight's historic Ryde Pier. Direct Rail Services launches new rail freight service for Tesco supermarkets. And the Blackpool Illuminations Express is back from Birmingham New Street to the seaside. Blackpool Simon gives us an update, and so does Martin Clark. All three roofline clocks at the front of the North Eastern's busiest and biggest railway station are now in sync for the first time in years.
They say a stopped clock is at least still right twice a day. Yet for Newcastle Station's trio of roofline clocks, time has stood still for too long. They've all been wrong for years because of water damage, but now much needed repairs funded by Network Rail and the Railway Heritage Trust mean they're all back in sync.
We understand it's been frustrating for people that these clocks have been out of action for some time, but now they are back up and running again like clockwork. People across Newcastle can trust that they tell the same time across all three faces.
Getting access behind the clocks on top of the station portico was the easier bit. The glazed dials were cleaned, bright new LED backlighting installed, and the three modern mechanisms fitted. But attaching all the hands on the front of the clocks needed a head for heights.
I think the boom we've got is a 60 foot, and we sort of had it nearly at full extension yesterday. It was a little bit windy as well, so like you say, we're up there, the basket's rocking a little bit. It is a bit nervy, but yeah, it's definitely higher than it looks.
The worn-out mechanisms ranged from between 50 and 30 years old. Specialist clockmakers Smiths of Derby are confident the new ones will stand the test of time.
The movements were open. With the old ones, they're now encased. Every product we make is rigorously tested before it comes out to site. It's tested for a number of weeks. Quality tested and sent out to lads like myself to come and install.
So if you're in the city and on the lookout for the hour, you can now be confident in the station's clocks for accurate Tyneside timekeeping.
We've completed some essential maintenance works, including installing around 48 new rail bearers over 65 metres from the end of Ryde Esplanade towards Pier Head, and install a buffer stop to enable train services to resume running between Ryde Esplanade and Shanklin. Laying 110 metres of new track through Ryde Esplanade Station with composite sleepers which are more resilient to the coastal environment and will last for at least 60 years. Relining the track through Ryde Esplanade Station to reduce the gap between the train and platform. Replacing bridge decks at both Park and Rink Road bridges. Renovations to a historic footbridge at Brading, signalling works at Ryde and bridge repairs in Sandown. Closing the railway for any length of time is always regrettable for obviously the users and people in the area. However, the assets on part of the railway becoming life expired due to the harsh weather environment that they're working. So the decision was made to take an extended block to try and complete as many works as that could be done within that time. And I think looking at it, it's been very successful so far. Our work will ensure we're able to keep running services safely and reliably for years to come and demonstrates our enduring commitment to the Island Line. Following on the completion of our first phase of works, our focus now shifts on completing some additional works between Ryde Esplanade and Ryde Pier Head, where we continue with the replacement of approximately 2.5 kilometres of worn-out rail bearers and 590 metres of new track. This is a complex and logistically challenging piece of work, and the weather obviously plays its part in how we manage to deliver it, but we are doing what we can to extend the life of the 150-year-old pier. Once we've completed the final phase of works in early May 2025, we don't expect to be returning for any additional major engineering works in the foreseeable future. We're incredibly grateful for all the passengers and everyone in support while we've been completing these works. Appreciate it's quite challenging for some people, but we are working to ensure that the disruption is minimised and we can get things operational as soon as possible.
Direct Rail Services launches a new rail freight service for Tesco supermarkets. This is a new service that becomes the 10th to be operated by DRS and the supermarket giant and demonstrates the long-standing partnership between the two companies. It runs from Tesco's main distribution centre in Daventry, Northamptonshire, on a 260-mile round trip to its regional distribution centre in Trafford Park of the North West. It's the equivalent of replacing thousands of lorries from the road. DRS Nuclear Transport Solutions Rail Division is a key partner in intermodal rail transportation and uses its expertise to deliver safe, secure and reliable transport across the rail industry.
Okay folks, just another quick update for you. We haven't done a lot of rail roundups recently. Again, we both have lives. It takes time to do this sort of thing, and things do change. Our situations are always constantly changing, so there's a lot going on in the background, so just please bear with us. We do still do it, and we will do stuff when we can. We've got a lot planned in the future. As you've seen, Gordon's been to Hardwick with TP, of all people, to see the 185 facility and how they work. I do believe he got to go on the simulator, so it's a lucky sod. So a few things going on over this way, key of which is, I don't know whether it's sort of one of the less announced sort of things that have happened for us over here. So a lot of people know that between Edinburgh, Waverley itself and Alnmouth down towards Newcastle, the electrics weren't able to cope with the amount of sets that are running in electric along there. So for us, the Class 802s had to run in diesel mode between Edinburgh and Alnmouth. Now, as of the 1st of, it wasn't the 1st of October, it was a couple of days ago, the 19th of October, my apologies. The first day of operation, I was actually working the Berwick shuttles, so the electrics have been beefed up to allow our 802s to run in electric mode between Edinburgh and Reston now. I don't know when it's going to come online between Reston and Alnmouth, because that's the next stage of it. Hopefully it won't be too long. Somebody said next month or two maybe. Well, I'll keep you updated with that, but for now, from the 19th of October, our Class 802s are now allowed to run in electric mode from Edinburgh down to Reston, which has made a big difference actually, I have to admit. It was nice to run in electric mode on the Berwick shuttles, well, as far as Reston anyway, but it was a nice change, and it's good to see that Rail are actually progressing with it. I've seen the substations they're building. They've got one just north of Berwick, and there's another one at Alnmouth that they're actually upgrading to be able to take the extra power. Bouncing around all over the place with this train. This one is quite a rough one. 397007 for all of you who want to know which set I'm travelling on at the moment. So that's about it. We've got, like I say, we've got things in the pipeline with regards to content for you. Watch this space. We've got a really good one planned, which will be coming at the end of November. Me and Gordon are really excited about this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. So watch this space. We will be with you. Our antics haven't finished, and they never will. We're brothers. We'll never, we never cease to have fun with each other. So watch this space, and we will be with you soon, guys. So that's it for now from me, and we'll speak to you in the next one. Watch this space. Take care, guys.
Cool.
Vintage trains are launching the Blackpool Illumination Express on Saturday the 16th of November. They'll head up the West Coast Main Line, branching off to Blackpool to visit the famous seaside town and what we have to offer with the Illuminations. In order to allow everyone to enjoy the best experience Illuminations, They will return from Blackpool after dark and expect to arrive back in Birmingham in the late evening. Alongside Illuminations, the seaside town of course has plenty to offer, including Blackpool Tower, Madame Tussauds and the town's historic heritage trams, ensuring you won't be short of ways to fill your day to create memories to take back. Now for timings, as usual, the links are in the description area below, departing from Birmingham New Street, Coles Hill Parkway, Nuneaton, Stafford and Crewe. Now it's time to find out what you've been up to on Off the Rails with your turn. So thank you very much for all your contributions in this episode of the Rail Roundup. Of course, Martin, Phil and Simon, good contributors as always to the episode show. Like Simon said, yes, we've got stuff planned. It does take time to do all this, of course. The Hardwick video will be going out very soon. Make sure you keep contact with us via my social media to find out when that is to be released.
The 185s, they're amazing things, and it's largely down to the fact that the depot was built for them, and these guys are maintaining them. They do such a good job that it's just a rolling program. They just keep going and keep going.
When you get a bit more confident, I can mess with you. Yeah. I can break things. I can put cars in front of you, trees, horses, fridges.
This is what happens now.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's now snowing like mad. So James is playing with the weather conditions.
We've got a dedicated team on nights for that. If you can imagine a pit stop, but obviously not with the pit stop pace because of how long the fuel takes. And then it moves to whatever location it's got, so whatever planned work, whatever maintenance it's got, whether it's coming in the shed, whether it's just a light maintenance night, it'll come over on the sidings or into the depot, which you'll see in a bit.
02 Tower 1, go route set from the Piccadilly reception.
And what happens is somebody will say, I should have got off at that station, you know. And you'll hear the racket that goes on in the cab, you know, it's...
So what you do then as well, you obviously get your comms through there for the DCO, and that's when you can talk to them.
And a little special do that me and Sam definitely got planned coming up, which is going to be an absolute belter, one of our best videos that we're ever going to put together. So please make sure you subscribe, and if you can support the channel by any way, which means most, then the links are in the description area down below, as always, with any sort of news stories that may be relevant to you. So looking forward to the Blackpool special coming as well. I'm going to make an effort and get myself down there on the platform to say hi to the train, if not you all, and welcome you to my seaside town. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, ta-ra.